afternoon from Horse Racing Nation headquarters. They're going in the gate at Sam Houston, so it'll be a quick hello before the lid lifter there at DeRosa with Sara Elbadwi. And Sara, pick six carryover fever gripping the nation.
The nation as in Horse Racing Nation?
Everyone. Our nation, your nation, bettors.
Everybody.
Yes.
We have one tonight starting in race 4, I believe.
We do, yes. 50 cents, $16,000 carryover. And then in a couple days, pick six carryover at Aqueduct. And you took a look at that sequence, so more on that in a bit. But
I did.
A lot of good wagering opportunities.
Absolutely. And low 12% takeout offered tonight at Sam Houston. And make sure you are liking and subscribing to our channel and this video before we get started. They are currently almost all loaded, I think. Oh, no, just going into the gate for race number 1.
They are just
Real
going
quick
in the
thoughts?
gate. I bet the 6 here, 5-2. So, yeah, it's always tough. It's tough for me to say, oh, should we start 15 minutes before? It's not like we can show the race anyway, and I'd much rather have time on the back end because of the 12% pick 5, the pick 6 carryover. So, yes, we do start on top of the first race, but it's racing. That's what happens.
It's also.
Who'd you pick?
Who did I pick? I like the 2 a little bit. This horse was 4-1 on the morning line. I'm a little surprised the peak factor has taken so much play. But we'll see what happens. That horse is currently 6-5 right now. With the 2, this horse has shown some early speed, which we know is very important at any track, especially tonight at Sam Houston. Going to be on the inside. I think that might be enough to get it done here. We'll see.
Yes, and we'll get to the track profiles here in a bit. But what is this, a dirt sprint? Very quickly for those watching, as you can see, this is for the entire meet. 61% on the front end. Not necessarily super inside. Those middle posts doing okay, 3 and 4. But definitely you do not want to be too far back. Just 6.3% winners coming from the clouds, so to speak. So I thought that was interesting. And they're still loading. This feels like a long gate load.
I think it's just long because we've been talking about it for a while.
Oh, well, number 3 who's favored, owner breeder is the same, but the jockey and trainer is the same.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Of course, broke last.
We'll pop this up. Yeah,
see what happens there.
I thought on paper, number 3 made the most sense, as likely maybe as the 6, but with taking that kind of money and connections as a trainer, he's 3%. As a jockey, he's 7%. That was an instance where almost always at 6-5, I'm not going to be interested.
Yeah, and I also looked at this horse and saw that this horse wasn't one that had really shown any early speed early on, and keeping in mind with how important speed is early on in these dirt sprints, especially at these kind of lower levels. This is a maiden special weight, not a maiden claiming, but it is Texas accredited. These aren't exactly the top of the crop, so to speak. So right. I wanted a horse that was going to sit a little bit closer. The horse that I picked is not the one that's actually anywhere near the lead right now, but is sitting closer than the 3, who is nowhere.
Nowhere, yeah.
Wait, there we go. Making a move. Your horse is doing well.
Yeah, I'm somewhat excited, but I think he may, no, that's over.
Over with the first-time starter.
First-time starter who I've had some other note on him about, the sire, which granted, as you noted, Texas accredited, kind of a small sample size with some of these sires. But for the second time on the live stream, we have witnessed
history.
The first debut winner by this horse's sire.
Preferred issue. That's the one.
Was 0 for 10 with his debut runners. Now 1 for 11, and his first winner in 2 years.
Yeah, 9 of which were 3-year-olds and up, which is this field. So
important to watch that stuff. I did not get on board, unfortunately, so we'll be turning the page here from race number 1. I like a debut runner in race 2, though, so maybe we'll have a debut, a debut double.
Is it the 1?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that horse makes a lot of sense to me. So,
plus on our super secret, yet to be released, first time report numbers that we're working on here at HQ features rather favorably as well.
HRNHQ?
HRNHQ. Remember that game, HQ?
No, I don't.
The trivia game?
No.
You would play it on your phone?
No.
In real time?
No.
Yeah.
Not really in for the trivia games on my phone. I have a thing against Wordle, so.
Wow, this was like in real time game show style, and it was kind of a big thing for a
I
while.
believe you. I just don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, if any of you remember HQ,
Make Ed feel
you
good
can't
about
even
it.
remind you don't remember, but nevertheless. All right.
Can't
Well,
really be reminded of something you never knew.
pick 3, 24,000 in the pool. Pick 4 starts race 2, and this is where we really get down to brass tacks, because who doesn't love a pick 4 with 12% takeout?
That's the way to go. Who are you looking at in here?
Real quick, I'll let this guy get his kaboom in Opva. He liked the 5.
Oh, great. Nice pick.
Yeah, 4 to 1.
Not so
Yeah,
bad.
peak factor 3 to 2. I try not, like, I don't know what type of, oops, sorry everyone. I don't know what type of questions you run into from friends, peers that maybe aren't as familiar with the game as we and our listeners are, but they want to know jockey, trainer. Do they actually? Does it matter how good or bad they are? I actually think for the most part, jockeys and trainers are kind of in a range of capable, and with the right horse, they can win. But occasionally you just get a feel. And when I saw jockey trainer, and especially with the stat as a trainer, 3%, it's just really hard to back a horse as the favorite when you're looking at those kind of connections.
Right. And I think you bring up a point of like, well, being such a short price, and that's kind of what turns you off of this horse with those stats. Whereas if this was a long shot and you like the horse anyway, might be a little bit of a different story.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't want 3 to 2 on this horse with the running style. I definitely didn't want 3 to 2 on that horse, considering those stats on the connections as well. And turns out the horse finished 4th. So I will say that
Broke
break
poorly.
Yeah, the break.
But that's part of the training job, right?
I mean, yes and no, it's a factor, but sometimes you can have the best trained horse from the gate and something just happens in that moment where they're not looking, or maybe it's a starting issue where the starter accidentally held them for half a second more and then nobody really noticed, or maybe they just kind of were a little bit off balance. There's plenty of things that could happen in the gate.
Right.
It's one moment, I wouldn't blame a trainer for that unless it was happening over and over and over again with multiple different horses from a specific trainer. Then you can kind of be like, all right, what's going on here?
Right. Well, I will say I do like these type of horses when they get maybe a jockey change. So even though the trainer stat isn't great, if Lane Luzzy like hustled this mount, that would make me think, okay, maybe improvement's coming. And after that effort, maybe it won't be 3 to 2.
Possibly, but I think everyone will see what we did with the break and then be like, oh, well, that's a legitimate excuse.
Right. Or if you take maybe my track, the break, same trainer, well, did he fix it? I don't know. Can I trust a 3% guy?
It's a good question. But also, I don't think he has a lot of horses either, right?
Probably not.
Yeah. So, small sample size.
Indeed. All right. Well, that definitely exhausts all we could Oh, look, I didn't even know there was a jockey change. All that talk, and you had Richard Aramia.
Wow. Saying the wrong thing about the wrong person.
Well, trainer's still in play, but yeah, that's crazy. Anyway. All right. Well, moving on to race number 2, where we have the pick 4s I noted, and another first-time starter here for race 2, and that is my pick is number 1 to kick off the pick 4
in here.
Oh, that's true.
That's the one that we.
And the morning line also seemed to think it's down to one of those.
Yes, I would say so. For those that have run, I thought was interesting is as we're talking about jockey changes, Rye Eichelberry is now riding the number 3 Sergeant Klein, which is a horse that I was looking at a little bit prior to that. And with how hot he's been lately, this is a horse that then I took another look at and kind of moved up a little bit in my picks with him getting aboard. And 6 to 1 on the morning line. It's the same exact price as the horses right now. So I think this horse could be a little bit interesting in case the 6 to 5 favorite in the first timer in 1 True Diamond doesn't quite show up.
And you never know. It does open at 6 to 5 though, so that's always a mixed bag for me. I guess you'd say, well, it's encouraging, taking money right off the rip. But if you like the horse, you want as good a price as possible.
Right. And I think a lot of times with those first timers, everyone's like, oh, well, watch the board. And it's like, okay, well, when you're watching the board, you're watching how much of other people's money is going into this horse. So you're also watching what's everybody else's opinion.
Right.
And everybody else's opinion might be totally wrong.
As more often than not, you want it to be. But this barn, I don't really know what Steve does with Sam Houston runners and how. I know he's very in touch with any horse he trains wherever they run, but he's definitely been known to have a wager or two on site at Churchill Downs. I don't know what kind of barn money there is at Sam Houston, but that I would say that would be a barn more than most in my mind, that if there is money, that's at least an encouraging sign that the horse has some talent.
Yeah, I would say so. And I think that this is someone that we looked at when we were talking about trainers that are kind of slow to heat up as the meet goes on. And, you think of Steve Asmussen, you don't think of him being slow to do anything, but
Right.
it could possibly be that now, as we've had some time in the meet, that now he's bringing in his first timers that might be a little bit more live. I know he had that half to My Miss Aurelia debut and win recently as well. So there could be some good horses coming up for him.
And he had the Untappable the other day.
Which one?
Untappable. Debuted at Sam Houston and ran well on turf, but 4-year-old. So it's like, okay, what's going on that we have a 4-year-old out of Untappable finally making his debut, a colt, 4-year-old colt by an Oaks winner. So I faded at a short price, but definitely ran okay. So whatever the issues were, maybe they have figured out and could be fun to watch down the road.
Absolutely. And I know there were a lot of, to go in a little bit of a different direction, I know there were a lot of MTOs that were entered for this day. It was a little foggy over there. Are they having some weather in Texas? Do we know off the top of your head?
Not that I had heard, but yeah.
I guess I could just look it up.
I mean, it definitely looks like hazy.
Yeah, that's the weather report. A little bit of haze.
Haze. Track is fast, though. Turf is firm. I'm singling the one here in the pick 4.
I think that that's logical enough. I'd be willing to take a little bit of a shot against, but I'm saving my money mostly for the later pick 6 today and then also the Aqueduct pick 6 coming up on Friday.
Right.
So,
what about tomorrow?
What about tomorrow?
Well, if you have the pick 6 today and the pick 6 Friday,
what's
about
going to fill in
Thursday?
the gaps? I think it depends on how well we do today.
All right. Well, we do, for those watching, I did put up a bet share on my Twitter, which is EJXD2. So for those wanting to play along with the pick 6, that is out there. Josh wants to know if we're going to get a sparkling water review. And unfortunately, it's just Diet Coke today.
This isn't Saratoga.
But I did find a brand new brand of sparkling water here in Louisville that I had not seen before. And I was with the kids, so I didn't do a review. So Josh, stay tuned. I'm going to get another bottle of that and review hopefully tomorrow.
Lovely. Can't wait. Here's my review on sparkling water. I hate it all.
Yeah, I think that's come up before.
Yeah, it has.
And I have candy in my office that I forgot to bring out. I'll have to go get that maybe for the next race, second race.
I've got it. Go get the candy.
All right. So this pick 4, races 2, 3, 4, and 5. Races 4 and 5 are the first 2 legs of the pick 6, back half of the pick 4. So if you get through this pick 4, that also means you get through a third of the pick 6. We'll get to those last 2 races in a moment. What about race 3?
Race 3 going forward, I have 3 horses in here. This is one where it's kind of like, those races where you just don't really see anybody stick out. So I went with the 2 on top. That's going to be Dance Kingdom, morning line of 9-2. This horse is second off the claim for Ronnie Cravens. Drops from the $15,000 tag. Was a little bit pressured towards the front end last time out and stalked in second on the outside. There were 3 across the track going into the first turn. The fractions were fairly legit for the level and the distance. So although the race was won by the pace setter that day and the scores kind of faded, I'll give this one another shot with a lower level, so to speak. And then the 7 has also shown some early speed, and I kind of just wanted to stick with horses that had shown some interest in being up close early. And then the number 6, blinkers are going on for this horse. I'm willing to give this one another shot since this horse was running competitive enough figures to be in the mix here.
Blinkers on at 9 years old.
Yeah. I wonder if this horse has worn blinkers in the past, though. I didn't dive that deep, but could be.
I wonder how differently. I mean, I would think a 9-year-old gelding, like that's a lifetime ago when they were racing at 4 and 5.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
I mean, do they change though? Could blinkers that they tried then and didn't go well have a better effect now?
It depends, and also you have to think like this horse has probably been with several different trainers in different barns, and so everybody's kind of going to try something a little bit different here and there to see what works, and also just any sort of change to be like, all right, like something's different, like maybe this will help, maybe it won't. Sometimes just making a change, regardless of what that might be, could get them a little interested in something again.
Right.
So
Kickstart things a little bit.
yeah.
Kick the tires. All right. So 267.
Mm-hmm. Who do you like?
26.
All right, great.
Yeah. No, I
agree?
think I really my biggest marks on the 6 were just thought pace. It's going to get the right trip, and is that a mile on the dirt?
Yeah, are you copying my notes?
No, I didn't write the distances down, so I don't want to
write like teeny tiny.
Yeah, but I was asking because we do have the stats for surface and distance, but Sam Houston, and interestingly enough, the routes closer is still not great, just a little less than 10%. That's about 9.3%, 1 out of 11 closers. So tough to come from too far back. Not quite the front running style that we see with the sprints, but nevertheless, wire to wire or stalking types where you want to be in the routes. And it just kind of felt like to me post 6, which isn't quite as good as somewhat inside, but isn't outside enough where the numbers really drop off, as you can see. Just thought at the price, the right trip too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just in here too, a lot of horses at shorter prices, like the 1 off track at 3-1, or even the 3, just ask Joel at 6-1, or the 8, Zanucci at 4-1. What are these horses going to do this time that they haven't been able to do before? They've all kind of faced each other. Nobody's really doing much running. I don't want any of them at a shorter price. I'd rather take one horse at 9-2, that there's at least a change being made in some way.
And what was the change on that one?
Dropping class.
Oh, okay.
Second off the claim.
Not the 9-year-old gelding blinkers.
Yeah, that's not really enough of a change that I'm going to tout too much, but
it's there.
Yeah, it's a change, but it's like I also kind of was interested in this horse anyway, so if it was just a 9-year-old gelding that had no shot whatsoever and they're putting the blinkers on, I wouldn't have really cared that much about it.
All right, and that was race 3. So race 4 starts the pick 6. We won't go too much into it, but since it is part of the pick 4, and you and I, this is one of those where we
completely disagree.
Well, the 2 you used are my B's, so I wasn't dismissive.
Okay, so then who are you not using at all in here? Just one horse?
Well, for the bet share that I did, I just combined our picks because we had 2 horses we agreed on top later on. So I figured, well, combine, and if we're right when we agree, we'll look hopefully smart.
Hopefully smart. I like it. We should name a horse after that.
4, 6, 7 are my A's, and I picked the 4 on top just because this is the longest price of the 3.
Yeah, I didn't like the 4 at all. So
not at all?
No. And
really?
Also the longest price at 7-2.
Well, it's the longest of the 3.
Yeah, but no, I didn't want that horse at all. And then the 7, you have a horse that's going from Carl Broberg and Rye Eichelberry to a trainer that's 5%, and then with this jockey 7% together. So I didn't want that horse at 5-2 at all.
So if he's 5, but with the jockey 7, it's an improvement.
She, for the trainer, Amanda Barton.
She's 5%.
Yeah.
But with the jockey is 7.
Right.
Okay.
But I think it's the 5% for the meet.
And at 5-2, I hear you.
Yeah,
but I recognize that, okay, I'm 3 deep, and they're the logical, so that's really not that good of an opinion anyway.
Dirt route.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Everyone,
I think they get it.
They get it. Well, it's more focused on our words that way. But, it's a tough way to start, I think.
Yeah.
Not for you. You only use 2, and neither's favored, right?
No, the one's favored, 9-5.
Oh, the one's the 9-5.
Yeah.
Good for Nick making realistic lines.
Yeah.
These places where it's, 6, 7 horse fields and they have a 3-1 favorite. Give me a break.
Yeah. He did give us an update that the morning line was going to be different for race 7 with the 3. I think he said, don't totally quote me on this, I think he said that horse was actually supposed to be 7-2, not 3-5. Does that change things for you?
No. I mean, the 3 didn't. Well, yeah, I guess 7-2 is a better price than 3-5. I'm guessing what happened is he had 3.5 or something like that written in his.
Maybe. I think that was going to take a lot of money, though.
Yeah, no, I mean it made sense to me that it would be favored. 3-5, I guess, in retrospect, was somewhat ambitious.
Yeah.
But you and I both like the 11 there.
Yep, fetching.
Our single,
Mm-hmm.
single city.
We have another single later on too.
We do. That's kind of maybe one of the more universal singles, though.
Yeah.
The Uno and the last.
Sorry, these are aqueduct notes. But that is a horse that I felt as though was just the most logical in that field.
Yeah. No, and this is anecdotal. I haven't dove deep, but it seemed at the meet that last race has been pretty reliable in terms of the class they use and just the horses who are better there.
Inside speed and
deliver.
Turf sprints as well has been very good.
Oh,
so
we have something for that.
Do we really?
Look at that. Yeah. Posts 1 through dirt route. Yeah, turf sprint. Posts 1 through 3. So inside 50%, which is 9 for 18. And the only closer came from an inside post,
really?
Which definitely want to be more on the front end anyway. So
interesting.
Yeah, that all that is to say, I won't say very excited about singling an even money morning line horse, but
at least it's a single.
In a pick six, you need somewhere to lean, and that I was comfortable.
Well, I was going to say too, like if we get fetching home over the 3 in there, which I feel like the 3 is going to possibly be a single for a lot of people as well. Then
good point.
Yeah, that knocks a bunch of people out.
It's a little zig when others are zagging. We also did not agree in the closing leg of this pick 4.
No, we did not.
Which is leg 2 of the pick 6. I was willing to lean on the 5. It's a lone A for me.
You're talking about race 5?
Yes.
Okay.
I was willing to lean on the 5 as a lone A for me, and you did not have it all 3 deep.
No, I went with a little bit of a long shot. I feel like this horse is probably going to take some money as well. That's going to be the 9, a big money machine, currently 12-1 on the morning line. This horse... Last time this horse was on the turf, it was versus Allowance Company and was a win with an 80 buyer speed figure going 7.5 furlongs. And you have Raya Kaveri and Carl Broberg teaming up, so that doesn't hurt either.
No, they've done fairly well, I would say.
Fairly well, yeah.
Have you heard our coworker's story about hanging out with Carl? Yes.
Are you talking about Mark?
No.
Ron?
Yes.
No, I have not.
It's quite
I'll
a tale.
have to ask next time I see him, I'm sure.
Next time you have 30 minutes.
I was just going to say, it'll be a sit-down talk, won't it?
It'll be a chat. So that's the pick 4. My ticket, I am singled here to the 1, and then I have 2-6 in the next. This is a cheapie, 4-6-7, race 4. And then I leaned on the 5 most, but I will say I'm 2 by 3. I used 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12 as well on another ticket, none of which are the second or third choices. So overall,
2, 3,
though, that's
4, 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah.
The 10 and the 12 have scratched in race 5.
This was not communicated to me.
So you should probably throw
in even cheaper.
You should throw in the 9 with all the room that you now have on your ticket.
What's the 9?
The 9's the one I just talked about.
Yeah, but 12. I meant what's the odds?
What are the odds? Yeah, 12-1.
Because I don't like to use the favorite and then
I'm not
spread second and third
deep.
I appreciate that.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, plenty of room to use the 9 then.
Yeah, throw it in.
Got to get the favorite home here, though. Oh.
We got a good shot.
It's ignoring the chat while uploading.
What does everybody think? The 3? Candace, thanks. See, backing me up with
she likes the 3 on the cutback. Yeah.
I like this horse too.
It seems, I mean, if the firster runs
if the firster runs, that's it.
Yeah. But if not.
I mean, how many short-priced Asmussen horses have not shown up, too?
A fair share.
Yeah, enough to possibly take a shot against, if that's what you were thinking. I did have a replay for this race. It's none of the horses that we've talked about. It's going to be of the 4 and the 5 last time out. And
where are they? In the drive?
In the drive. And I don't love a speed and fade. This is when this horse was 7-5 on the morning line. I thought was going to be the favorite, unlike all this money that the 1 is taking. And that's what the argument was going to be like. I don't trust this horse at all. So seems like bettors feel the same way. That's the one.
This one here, Bold and Wild.
That's him.
Oh. So talk us through this.
So this is where he is actually the 4 in here, and he is just dropping right out of there. Now, the 4 in here was the 2 this day. Does try to kind of go up the rail, has to check out and move to the outside a little bit with the white blinkers right there. Does finish up pretty well in here, but this was a pace that kind of just backed up out of there. So I didn't love this horse now getting more distance after collapsing kind of.
So the 4 was pressing the winner. Actually, no.
No, the winner
was not pressing the winner.
over,
yeah.
And then the 2 ends up having a little bit of trouble, tries to go up the inside, then has to check and go out a little bit, is then running on for a share of things. But this is going to end up being a longer distance than that race was. I don't love a speed and fade.
And who is the 4 in this race?
So it's the 4 in this upcoming race. The one that's about to come up was the 2 in that race.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Not the 4 in the race we just watched is not in this race.
No, the 4 in that race was the 5.
Oh.
If everyone's super
Clear as
confused, the 4
I'm gonna watch it again.
Was the 2.
So right now, number 4 is pressing the 3.
That's Bold and Wild, who's the 5 in the upcoming race.
Okay. And the 4 totally threw in the towel and was no match even for the 3 that he was pressing.
Yep.
And then the 5 beat them both.
Right.
So Bold and Wild.
Bold and Wild was.
What about him fighting back gamely?
He didn't really fight back with anybody. He kind of just stayed there, I think.
And the others weren't,
Yeah.
So out of that race, you prefer the 2?
Yes.
Who is who?
The 4 in here.
I like it. I think we got there. It can be tough time. We need to get that shadow box or something going on.
I know. We need one of those like fun little circles or something. We'll figure it out as time goes on. Figuring out a lot of video things lately, which will only continue to improve. So
yes, and speaking of which, we'll get more to this the next race because we'll have all of race 3 to go over some other stuff. But same YouTube channel, which by now you've subscribed to.
Of course.
You've already given a thumbs up to this video.
Absolutely.
But Sara did what I thought was fun, informative, checked a lot of boxes in that regard. But pick 6, you looked at the carryover sequence for Friday at Aqueduct, and 6 races, less than 4.5 minutes. To me, this is now the gold standard for how carryover sequences should be analyzed.
Well, I was going to say, what video has anybody watched? And if so, please send it to me. That is informative, goes through an entire 6-race sequence, is not just someone talking into a camera, and actually has some information about each and every single race along with a replay involved in each one. I would love to see it, whatever it is out there. So,
well, we're contributing to it. No, it was good. So please check that out. We'll show a clip shortly.
The best part.
Mike Allen, I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. Mike Allen said that there were more horses closing than just the one you showed.
No, I'm sure, but they're not in this race.
There's your distinction, Mike. No, they're not. Oh, camera guys shaking things up, though. Yeah. Thankfully, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
3-2 on the 1. I'm just going to plant my flag there. The rest of the board's pretty flat. I guess if you had some reason whatsoever, 2, 6, or 7.
The 2 and
6 is another first-time starter, right? Yeah.
The 2 is 2.
2 is 2.
The 7 I couldn't really find any sort of reason to be interested in. But I guess with a horse that's never raced before, you never really know what you're going to get. I mean, there's plenty of clues that kind of guide you, but you don't really know until they're on the track. And
let's see if I can pull this up right quick. The 7, you're not interested in the 7.
No, not at all. No whatsoever.
Because on predictive form,
which is
just one of many.
How many tabs do you have at once? It's very impressive.
But he is he's the top contender on predictive form, and the reason why is he was given a new pace, or one of the reasons, a new pace top. So he ran okay early before completely throwing in the towel.
Yeah,
If 50 to 1, nah.
No, like I said, I hate a speed and fade. And even if predictive form
Well,
is
that does not look pleasant at Sam Houston.
I'm gonna check the weather before we just keep calling it hazy. Let's see what we got going on here. Come on.
What's up, Shake Up? The Shake Up.
The Shake Up.
Not just Shake Up. It's like the Ohio State.
Or the Naira.
Predictive form is just a speed. I don't say speed figure. I mean, they have figures, but basically analyzes racing using more pace data, and it's based on. I mean, when they switch, I wonder if it's just the camera.
Maybe light rain showers right now, so possibly having an impact on the haze that we're seeing.
That had to be something. But yeah, Inopia predictive form, just pace ratings and basically a way of identifying patterns. So a lot of times you'll hear sheets people talk about bounce and things like that. And predictive form uses pace ratings to try to identify patterns in the way horses are running too. Patrick, like Mindy, I don't know which horse she had.
6.
She had the 6. Okay. And the shakeup says that you need to check out the shakeup, which I would like to as well. Not sure what it is. So
me either.
This horse, I think, is just going to be much the best in here.
It looks like that's a possibility for sure. Let's see what happens.
I mean, to duel on the inside like that as a debut runner.
Well, to duel against a horse that I said was the speed and fade that I didn't like at all.
Well, that's true, but
there's the 3. The 3 runs funny. Do you see the high like knee action in the front where you kind of just like bounds like Mark's dog?
Mark's dog is a bounder.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
How about that?
To start off.
Single.
Yeah, one for fun. The 3
is
did
that a
gallop
pun?
out and ahead though. It wasn't a pun.
Oh.
I was pointing out the gallop out in the meantime though. Someone said that you don't really believe in those.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not a gallop out guy. Well, then now. What do we make of how? Does that mean anything?
What?
The way his head cocked to the left after the gallop out.
No, the rider's asking him to slow down and stop, so it could just kind of be moving him a little bit off balance to slow down. I was like, what just happened? No.
All right. I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping that all the late money went elsewhere, and the one was like 9-2.
I thought you were gonna say 9-1.
Oh no!
I was just gonna laugh.
No.
I hope so for you as well.
But pick 4.
There you go.
Single home.
Good stuff.
I like it.
A nice Asmussen debut runner that actually lived up to the promise.
What was that? 50,000 maiden claimer.
Yeah. Yep.
And a horse who featured very well on our first timer report.
Yes.
Which hopefully will be available at picks.horseracing.com sooner rather than later.
There is plenty of great information available there currently.
Already,
while you wait.
Including free power picks.
For all the Sam Houston meet.
Every day, every race.
Day.
Yep. And I did not see who it had on top in this race.
What's that?
I did not see who.
Picks? Yeah. I can pull that up real quick.
Let's see.
Find out.
I'm always impressed when algorithms pick out a first-time starter as a top pick.
Yeah, I mean, they may have also based on connections as well. We can pick that up in here and see what happened. I'm definitely going to be taking a look at Fridays shortly too, but let's see. We also have our ebook available that provides a lot of other
forget about it. All this stuff.
All this great stuff. We updated the ebook, didn't we?
It's not been updated this week. It was kind of one of those through the big stakes day, but
second. the power
pick second.
picks.
Okay.
Yep.
And it had the debut runner second in the opener as well. How about that?
Yeah.
But there is a big stakes day Saturday, and I'm not going to be doing a video because I have not gotten your editing chops yet. But I am very much looking 3-2. I am very much looking forward to looking at the stakes card Saturday. And one thing I really like digging into, which we can with the data and just siphoning thing or filtering things, is it's for Texas breds or Texas accredited or some association with Texas only requirement. And to me, those races just play differently, and trainers have different intent, and they fit better, and horses fit better. So I'm looking to sort of dig into the data there and see if we can mine a few nuggets at a price.
Yeah, absolutely. And any of those state bred or state accredited or state exclusive only days at a variety of tracks across the country, it's an opportunity for these horses that might not be quite as competitive in open company to kind of just, face the select group and possibly, get some bigger purses and get some more, possible black type within the pedigree. And it's just a great program, whatever state you're in. Texas has their day on Saturday. They have different showcase days at different tracks. It's a great idea.
And I needed the full explanation because mine's thinking of everything else going on. Shake Up actually predates what we've been doing, but he has a live stream. He looks at Gulfstream. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Very entertaining, and definitely, in my mind, what I hope is part of a community that streams races and talks about them.
Yeah, that's great.
So you should check it out.
Okay.
Yes, I've checked it out and have enjoyed. The big stopper for me, the reason I'm not like totally all in and engaged on it, is I'm not a Gulfstream player. So it's hard for me to, really kind of dig in, but it is very well done. And I agree with the shakeup that it merits everyone checking it out. That's on YouTube, as are we, as is your clip for Aqueduct. Before we get to the Pick Six Friday at Aqueduct, I did want to ask you about some races coming up on Saturday. Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks Championship Series begins at Fairgrounds. The Rachel Alexandra is on the Oaks Trail, and Hidden Connection, the 3-1 morning line favorite. I agree she'll be the favorite. Maybe the outside post hinders that a bit. I'm shocked to see Lacrette as the, fifth choice at 8-1? No way, right?
No, she'll take money. I honestly do think that that's kind of a fair morning line, though, because who has she really faced?
I mean, that's the rub for sure. I want nothing to do with her. I'm sorry to see that even the morning line maker is in on her not being a logical contender against this group. Just knowing the Ragusan numbers that Hidden Connection has run, and Dreamlith as well, who was fast when breaking her maiden at Saratoga. Lacrette, probably could be 10-1 from a fair odds standpoint. But Stone Street, Asmussen, consecutive wins at Fairgrounds, those horses just don't go off at 8-1.
No, absolutely not. And does she have every right to improve and throw her hat into the ring as far as a serious Oaks contender? Of course. And, she's got the pedigree to do so, being the half declare. But I would go
She'll have to improve a lot.
Right. I agree with you on that. And the win last time out, yes, it was decent. But again, from the speed figure standpoint and from, even just looking at the fractions on their own, she's going to have to get better. She's going to have to get faster. I like Hidden Connection a lot. I don't think enough attention was really drawn, at least during the call of the race, to the fact that she did have a pretty legitimate stumble out of the gate in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Nobody was beating Echo Zulu that day. But at the same time, I think that she deserves a chance to redeem herself. I think that she has every opportunity to do so here. I like Dreamlith as well, who you mentioned. I did like Goddess of Fire a little bit for Todd Pletcher last year. I think that this is another horse that's going to have to take a step forward as well. So those are kind of the three that I have my eye on going into this race.
Yeah, I'm want to see Hidden Connection move forward. I would say maybe from a long-term think ahead standpoint. If Saturday's not the day, outside post might have some excuses, might be overbet anyway, given what she's already accomplished as a graded stakes winner. Maybe that could set up some opportunity later on the Oaks Trail for a better price and a better spot with a better post. But at these prices, Dream Lit, I would say it's 6-1 would interest me most. But 11 horses, this is what you want on the trail.
For sure. And quick going to mention California Angel. I understand that you want to take your shot and race in these big races and see if you have an Oaks horse. This is not a dirt horse. This is a turf horse. She's a great turf horse. She needs to be back on the turf.
It seemed like if they were like, man, let's get to the Oaks, they could have tried something at Turfway, or at least you get the Tapeta and points for the Oaks. But I mean, like you said,
you got to shoot your shot.
The Fever.
Yeah.
The Fever.
That's a turf horse.
All right. Risen Star, a horse extremely near and dear to the hearts of us at HRN. Smile Happy, who is the 7-2 morning line favorite. Field of 10. So one less horse, half an odds point higher than the morning line favorite of the Rachel Alexandra. And I have to say, there's just, between all those horses from the Kentucky Jockey Club coming back, Mattress Mac making the big win bets in the future pool, this horse has some legitimate, and it is exciting, buzz, but with it comes money, and I'm going to try to beat him.
Me too, and I think really, to be fair to Smile Happy, the only horse that I would want to try to beat him with is the number 7 Zandon, because this is a horse that I saw a lot of potential in. Back to that race where he was on the inside, really got tight on him with Modonical. That was one of the rides that Irad Ortiz was suspended for a period of time in New York. I felt as though that race should have been a DQ of Modonical. A lot of people kind of like rewatched that race and then had the same opinion going back to that. To be, such a young horse and be so bottled up on the inside and have another horse coming over on you and to still run as well as he did to just get, beat out for that win. I give him another big shot in here. He's going to have to step up a little bit to beat the likes of Smile Happy, but I think it's possible. A horse that you're pulling up right now, Slow Down Andy, is one of the
I was going to say, did you not read 4 reasons that he may offer value?
Yeah, here's one big reason why I'm not a fan. Have you seen the way that he moves?
I mean, I've seen it in that I've witnessed it, but it not made an impression on me.
It's kind of like...
Is it like Jagger?
No, it's almost frightening, honestly, to see a horse that is so... I don't know that there's a word for it, but the way that he kind of crosses over his front legs, it makes me worried every time I watch a replay of his. Like, he's going to end up stepping on himself because he just almost hits the same exact point in the ground with his front 2 legs every time he takes a stride, and he cocks his head out to the side. He drifts in. He's obviously got some talent, but whether it's biomechanics, conformation, training, whatever the case may be, this horse makes me nervous that he's going to fall down.
Right. Well, Rainier had 4 reasons why he may offer value. You gave some reasons why he may not.
He may offer some value. I just don't want to bet on him.
I would say I'm more in your camp than not. The ship with Zandon is, I don't know, but I might just swing here because Smile Happy, I think, is going to be overbet. Papa Cap just isn't fast enough, but keeps taking some money. Slow Down Andy's outside. You've definitely given reason why he might not offer the right price. I guess that's Epicenter left among the those projected to take money, but
I'd give Trafalgar another shot. I liked him last time out. He's a closer amongst a race that's also going to end up being speed heavy, so possibly.
It's a good race.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked at the other 3 parts of the pick 5. 2 of those are the Oaks and Derby points races, but I would anticipate that this is probably going to be a pretty strong wagering opportunity on Saturday at Fairgrounds, Epicenter for Josh. And speaking of opportunities, I guess did your clip ever upload? No, but you did send it to me, right?
I did send it to you. We'll just go with that.
Is it in Slack?
It is. Yeah, there I am.
There you are. Let's see what I can do here.
I mean, this is the best part of the video because it's the most fun, but there's plenty of other valuable information available if you go to the full clip. It's available through the link on our Horse Racing Nation Twitter. It's on our YouTube channel that you're watching on right now. Plenty of ways to find it, so make sure to watch beyond this one clip because this is only about one horse.
All right, but just a taste of what you can expect from this and hopefully future videos as we
Right.
handicap all the fun sequences.
Of course. There's actually a coupled entry that's going to be Outcools and we trace por ciento. I'm singling the 3 Eucharist in here, and I think that he's poised for another big effort. Now, between his last win and his win 2 back, he was actually a late scratch because he did something like this. It's just not the best part. Thankfully, he was fine. Jockey was fine. They get him back to the races, and he comes back on February 3rd, and he does something like this. Now, something to keep in mind, this was one of the more outside bias prominent days, but outside bias aided or not, he absolutely demolished that field. And Michelle Giangulio trains, got 5 wins out of 10 starters for the meet, and I see him as a horse that's moving in the right direction rather than others in here that are just not in form right now. That's one of my 2 singles that I actually have on my ticket for the upcoming Pick 6 carryover at Aqueduct on Friday. So have to throw in a little bit of humor in there, right?
And everyone loves the Eucharist puns.
Yeah, oh, they're great. So. You made several the other day.
And I'm queuing up several more, hopefully, when your single rolls home. So that's part of the video that's on YouTube, and definitely nice to have a little fun with different sounds and replays and things like that, and getting Maggie's reaction. And was that the trainer who shrugged her shoulders there? Yeah. So all excellent additions, as well as the analysis. So looking forward to more of those. Hopefully it pays off short term with Aqueduct, and super short term, 9 minutes, about to get riders up at Sam Houston, race number 3. Rolling pick 3s now, pick 6 next, second leg of the pick 4, which I started with a single. You did not play. I did not get the sense. No pick 4.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
2-6 for me on my main ticket. I also have the 1 on another one, so which might be better.
No, I don't agree.
Oh, you don't like the 1?
No, not at all.
Well, looking at the double will pays.
Oh, as far as price, yes.
Yeah. The 8 would be my fade of all the horses, but I'm very much on the logical. 6 actually the favorite in the double will pay, but is the 4th choice in the pick 3. Dollar minimum, 12% takeout. I'm so enamored with pick 4, pick 5, but really when you look at what these pick 3s have paid at Sam Houston, it's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. I think Mark brought it up the other day. He's like, it's crazy that these pick 3s are paying so well. So definitely get involved with any of those. And if you miss one race, you can just come right back in the next one. We'll
right
end
back.
Of opportunity. Yeah. Speaking of opportunity, this too is taking a lot of money.
A lot of money. Why?
I don't know, but we both like the horse. So
yeah, I didn't think should be the clear 8 to 5. Although I would say I'd rather bet the 2 at 8 to 5 than the 8 at 5 to 2.
I agree with that. I think it's kind of like sort of what I said. You're not really seeing anybody that jumps off the page as far as everybody's kind of doing the same thing over and over again and not really having an improvement of results. So maybe with a horse that's doing something a little bit different, or you can at least say well, they're dropping a class, or second time off the claim, or
right.
At least something to say about maybe this time could be the time versus a lot of these where they're competing at the same level, they're doing the same thing. It's not resulting in a trip to the winner's circle.
Josh has a $5 double to the 4.
In here?
Yeah.
Rancho Bargo?
Who didn't have much positive on the 4.
Yeah, I didn't really have
I think last time I said that about one of his picks at 1.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, he's doing well.
If he wants to deign us with his why he landed on, there it is, Rancho Bargo.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the jockey change.
That must have been it.
Crocodile Jacques. Jacques. Fun names.
Yeah. Almost like Eucharist.
Well, that's now you did not like it. I did. Be interested if anyone wants to weigh in and break the tie. I thought Sis Boom Bob at Turfway was a phenomenal name.
Oh, I said like terrible, like that's a funny joke.
Oh,
not like
okay.
terrible, like, oh my God, that's awful.
Like terrible in a good way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, we don't
Things
need,
that get lost in translation.
we don't need a tiebreaker. Yeah, Slack's tough.
Right. Anything digital, man.
Slack chasm.
Boomer fail.
I was hoping that the KHRC's decision on Medina Spirit would happen during our.
Wouldn't be a boomer fail? Yeah, me too.
But maybe we can talk about that next week. Yeah.
I hope so.
Here's Josh's thoughts on the four here. 22-1.
Freshening. Well, I mean, the price is definitely right. That's for sure. If you can find anything to be saying that's positive about this horse, go for it. Longest shot in the field right now, 22-1.
Daniel wants an exacta box.
If I was going to play one, it would be the 2, and for a little bit of value, maybe the 3, or the 2 and the 6, but that's short prices. I don't like the 8 at all, so who is now the favorite?
Right. I would say I'd do 1, 2, 6. Just toss the 8.
What do you like about this one horse?
If I really thought the one,
other than the price.
So this is kind of punning because it won't be very analytical, but one of the things I run with Brisnet is it just handicaps the last 10 races instead of like looking at, this whole big database of thousands of races. It'll just take the last 10, and the one came out on top in terms of like the numbers it has versus what's been winning very, very short term. So that, to me, at 7-1 kind of caught my eye. But based on the multi-race wagers, he's going to be right there, or she?
No, he.
He is going to be right there with 2, 6, and 8. And I definitely prefer 2 or 6 at similar prices.
So I'm not a big Brisbane.
So at 9-1, I like, but at the expected, I think would be 7-2 based on the double and pick 3 wheel pays. I'll just stick with 2 and 6.
I'm not really a big Brisnet user, and by that I mean I've never used it.
Right.
With these Brisnet numbers, these are their own numbers, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was going to say, there's nothing that I saw with any buyer speed figures to suggest that this horse really has a prayer of anything they're doing lately. So.
Well, and Brit, I mean, similar to like I would say Briss in this case, more similar to Time Form, where the pace ratings, it'll look at that. So
okay, makes more sense.
Yeah, but I did not. If what's the morning line on the one? 3-1. Yeah, like sometimes it'll come up with a horse and it'll be, let's say, 10-1 morning line or some bigger price where it's clearly against the favorite. Then I will dig in a little bit. So, what did it like about this? But at 3-1, I just say, okay. So
I hear you. This horse is kind of dead on the board. Right
very much so. I mean, especially considering that it took money in the double pool.
Right.
Now 10-1.
Yeah.
But to answer Daniel's question, he wants an exacta box. Don't like the 8 at all at 7-5. So 1, 2, 6 for me. If you're Josh, he might tell you F the exacta box and just play the 4 to win.
Yeah, now at 30-1.
30-1. What's the highest odds you've hit on a win bet?
64-1.
I think that's exactly mine too.
Really? It definitely wasn't the same horse.
No, because you would have been 14 when mine was.
Mine was actually last year.
Oh, Lexitonian?
No, he was 30-something to 1.
Oh.
This was a maiden runner in a turf race. His name is Volkert, and he was the 9, and Dylan Davis was riding.
So it was in New York, though.
It was in New York, yeah.
All right. Well, Daniel's riding with me, so I always like when people in the chat get on board.
Yeah, share the same types of opinions. Yeah, let me make sure this was.
I don't even know if he shares my opinion so much as I gave him the numbers and he's rolling with it.
64-1 on June 3rd. Yeah, exactly 64-1.
First time starter?
Yeah, over 2 horses that were under 2-1.
There you go. And you bet to win.
Yep.
It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, it was great. I also had this one other horse that was 60-something to 1 and ended up winning on a DQ in Indiana Grand. Now not Indiana Grand anymore, but
no.
Yeah.
What is it? Horseshoe Indianapolis?
I think so. Yeah.
And what was the price?
I think it was another 60 something to one when I pulled that horse out. That horse's name was Be Patient.
Oh, and you were patient during, was it an inquiry or an objection?
I think it was both actually. And honestly, it wasn't a DQ that I saw coming. I was like, "There's no way," and then it happened.
And it happened.
That's the only time this horse has won. Let's see, 66 to 1.
Wow. So that's actually higher.
Yep.
Wow. I've only had 160 plus to 1.
Oh, well, it's those maiden races because you get
Yeah.
horses that
No.
you know.
And I think people, we saw it last race and it worked out for me, but I mean, especially the maiden, whatever track it is, the horsemen that win in bunches get bet. I mean, Brad Cox in Indiana always takes money, Amos. So.
Well, that's the time where it's like the paddock matters the most because if you have a full field of 2-year-old first-time starters and none of them has raced before, and you have horses taking money based on their sales works or their sales price or the connections or the pedigree or whatever, it's a great time to kind of try to find some sort of value in there because everybody's like, well, just watch the board. And it's like, well, nobody has a clue. So you have to think about what they're doing with their money and why, and they're betting the connections and the sales price and the pedigree and whatever. So if you can just at least rule somebody out at a short price and take a shot with somebody else that looks good, it's a great time to make some money. So I'm looking forward to those races to kind of be my specialty coming up April, May, June.
Yeah,
it's my best.
You'll be up close and personal here with Keeneland, good 2-year-old races.
Oh, you'll catch me at Keeneland every weekend.
Not outside.
What?
Cash you outside?
Yeah, it won't be cashing me outside until it's warm out, that's for sure.
Isn't that lady from where you used to live?
From Massachusetts?
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about her.
Oh.
We weren't super close or anything. Maybe she was.
Rise to fame.
Yeah, I mean, she really took the world by storm more than I have in my short time on Twitter. So,
is this a mile?
Yes. I don't know why I said yes before I looked, but I was right.
When you know, you know. So this is the mile dirt routes, and to me, like, makes me
more fair.
It's fairer, but I definitely just, why would you play the 8 at 2 to 1?
Well, I think a lot of people are seeing Ryan Eichelberry and Carl Broberg and decent figures, and
they've slammed the door on me before. So
yeah, I just don't like this horse. But if I was looking at something like this with all this post position information, if I really like that horse, I wouldn't let this change my mind. It would make me think about it, but it wouldn't change my mind. But if I already don't like the horse, then I'm going to look at that and be like, no, I really don't like this stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely how it's just, to me, always price dependent and relative to what else you like in the race. But yeah, if I came into this race, love the 8, can't wait to single, whatever, 2 to 1's fair, that wouldn't talk me off it for sure. Yeah. But when I'm 2 A's, 8's one of 2 B's, like, okay, as the favorite, and I see that, it just kind of gives me a little more confidence to at least back my opinion.
Right. I think people
still could be wrong.
Use it the same way as a tool of being like a credibility check. And that's kind of how I use a lot of our picks.horseracing.com tools as well, at least for the time being, to kind of just like, I do things, and I go through the races and then I go back and look at those. And then if there's a huge discrepancy in opinion, I kind of dive deeper and I'm like, well, why? And then if we're agreeing about something, then I'm like, okay, good. So this 8 is not doing any running yet. So there's that.
No, not even when the chicklets don't have you on. That's
yeah, when you're not on the screen, it's not always the best. But Josh is in a good spot with his right now, stalking the pace on the inside. So.
I would say, and whoever, I'm guessing the 5 was a price as well.
Yeah, the crocodile.
20. The 2 jockey changes are
really
1, 2.
Yeah.
The 6 and 8 who were,
and the 7 is nowhere.
Well, that horse wasn't taking money though.
No, that was kind of a horse that I thought could sit closer, but then took no money and is doing no running. So there's that. Well, the 8's on the screen. There we go.
Yeah, they're making
moves. Maybe.
Two's under the crop already. The 6, yeah, they're all pumping and popping.
Pumping and popping. I like it. Yeah, this is a race that I'd go back and be like, nobody really totally stepped up to the plate here. Everybody's
Just the 8 finally stepped up.
There we go. This horse that we don't like.
No, we did not.
No, very high head carriage with that one too. Kind of runs like that. But you see how everybody else is kind of finishing just across the track, all in the same type of line. You can say that this is a pretty evenly matched race, and by evenly, I mean they're all kind of bad.
Josh's horse won the gallop out.
Yeah, if only there was a prize for that.
ran on well down inside, and not sure if the 6 got second. So
yeah, in this case where we didn't like this horse at all, I would say this race also kind of totally fell apart for this horse to just come from nowhere and win.
Right, and that will improve the closer stats on the TTT. So. Which happens.
Yeah, and the outside post. So
outside post as well, yeah. Which I mean, just managed to the race falls apart and you stay out of trouble.
Right.
I
and where did the 5 finish in here? Last?
Deep.
Yeah. So this race completely fell apart. And also no one really did any moving except for the 6, I guess, with those blinkers on.
Right. Well, and I mean, the 6 got the same trip as the winner, just later.
Sit from absolutely nowhere and
pick up everyone else.
Yeah.
But Daniel has the right attitude.
Well, isn't that the entire attitude of horse racing? You wait 20 minutes and you get them next time.
And not only that, but we get to have the pick 6.
Space City time.
Space City. Carryover.
Are you salivating?
No, I'm pretty excited. I think we're on the right track.
With your bet share ticket, have people purchased a share?
Oh yeah,
in the fund.
There's shares out there.
Oh yeah, are all the shares gone?
No, still a few remaining. Tanucci.
Hear that? You can still be a part of the fund.
Oh yeah.
With the bet share, head to Ed's Twitter account. What is it?
EJXD2.
That's it. There's a lot of notifications.
Wow.
It's because you're popular.
Blue check mark.
That's really it.
That's brings all the tweets to the yard.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a tough life.
Now, announcer Nick Tamaro encouraged people to send in their ticket, $50 budget. Mm-hmm. So you and I both did that.
Did we send him in?
Wow. We made a ticket to his specifications. I did send him mine, but I missed the deadline anyway. Yours is $24, it looks like.
Yeah.
48 combos, so 50 cents each, $24 ticket. 2 singles, is that always your move, or?
No, I'm not like a Ron Nicoletti 4320 or 4380 or whatever his specialty number is. It's kind of just like, if I like a horse enough to do it, I will. I'm kind of a cheap player in that sense, with tickets and things like that. So if I can narrow it down, I'm always going to do so.
You will. All right. 1-2 to start, which is completely neither one of us on our own is surviving the first leg, because I'm 4-6-7.
Watch the 3 win.
Yeah. So neither one of us on our own is surviving, and really we're different in the second leg as well, because you have 9-6-7. I was willing to single the 5, but for the bet share, which again, if you go to my Twitter, EJXD2 is there. I basically, my top pick in leg 4 is the 11 as well. Mm-hmm. We both singled number 1 in leg 6. So what I did was said, okay, we agree on a top pick. We agreed on the single in the last, and then I used all our other horses in the others.
For $200, I believe?
$200. Yep. 400 combos, $200. Yep. As Homer calls them, smackaroos.
Great. So I imagine that we'll get through the first 3 legs at least of this sequence.
You would hope so.
You would really hope.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, I've been there where
that all but one.
Definitely. A dead heat for 4th.
There's a lot of dead heats at Sam Houston for minor placings.
Well, in the that's a jackpot high five though.
Well, it's probably because that 4 at 50-1 ended up getting third. So great pick by Josh to be 50-1 and end up in the money.
If he had Josh, if you had keyed your pick in the super high five for third, may have scooped the pool.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Although I guess not, because people did hit it.
Yeah.
And it's a jackpot. Never mind. Moving on to the pick six. Again, there's a look at Sarah's ticket, 1-2 to start things off, 4-6-7 for me, and should be a
sequence.
It's definitely a sequence. I think I haven't hit the pick six yet this meet.
This meet? I have yet to hit a pick six. Ever. Yeah.
Wow. Even the 20-cent variety?
I don't play a lot of those, so... I will say that, like, while I'm like, oh, I've never hit one, I didn't play one until last summer, ever. So at least there's that. I'm not just being like, no, in my 10 years, I've never hit one. I've only been playing them for less than a year.
What about the song you sold last summer?
What about it?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
You'd probably rather hit a pick six, though.
I would rather get some money, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
No, I would too.
Yep.
So let's see. Who were they betting? The 1. That's one of yours.
Yeah. Well, for Mr. Steve.
But the 2, also one of yours, a big price.
Well, everybody outside the 4 and the 7 and the 1 are a pretty big price right now. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that the 2 is not taking a little bit more money, but...
It's early. We'll see what the will pays are. That
Things
definitely have been a solid gauge, which, with the 12% takeout, people are in those pools. So a good indication.
Absolutely. And these are $10,000 claimers, fillies and mares, non-winners of 3, 4-year-old and up. I'm going to say, I feel like, yeah, there's an allowance optional claiming coming up. There's a regular allowance race on the turf coming up. So some interesting quality later on in the card. But
this is a mile on the turf?
This isn't on the turf. This is on the dirt.
Oh, what's that?
This is the next race.
Oh, okay.
We're here.
What is this? Another mile?
Yep.
Which, what if it's a closer's bias and the TTT is going to be completely thrown on its head?
Do you think that that's the case? Because I don't.
No,
I think that race was an anomaly.
Yeah.
That just
the
pace fell apart, as they would say.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to be against the 1 here at 3-5. I got to tell you that.
Well, in our bet share ticket, aren't you not really?
Well,
I'm sure you have other tickets going.
No, when I do a bet share, that's what I play.
That's it?
Because I don't feel it's right if I did this ticket with
on the side.
Yeah. So
very honorable.
As a for instance, in my pick 6, I was actually deeper in leg 4.
Yeah, by a lot.
Because I had another single in leg 2 and 6, which we agreed on.
And then you took fetching and said.
But 11 was my top pick.
Yeah.
And I was somewhat against the 3 there, who won't be 3-5 based on the adjusted morning line. But nevertheless, we'll take money. So that was I can maybe go a little deeper. Maybe if that's where the price comes, I'll catch it. But since we agreed on
fetch it.
But since we agreed on the top pick, that's how I constructed our ticket. But I will come back and play a pick 5 that basically mirrors this. And I will use the 8 in leg 3 as well, which will be leg 2 of the pick 5. So
we'll see what happens.
We will.
Now, how many races are we covering in this live stream? Because remember last week, I didn't even know that it was Wednesday until that day. So are we going through the 5th race?
We'll go through the 5th.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I always like to hit that pick 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just want to make sure that the major notes and then we get to the minor notes and that I'm spending my time correctly for what we'll be discussing on air versus then picks for later. And, I'm just trying to budget my time correctly since I spent a lot of it making that fun video.
Yeah, it was fun. But check it out on our YouTube page. Major notes and minor notes. Is that a allusion to Hallelujah?
No. None whatsoever.
You know that song, though?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually know how to play that song on guitar. Fun fact.
Really? What kind of guitar?
Whatever guitar.
Oh. Aren't there different strings, though?
Oh, you mean like a bass guitar versus like a regular 6-string?
Sure.
Sure.
I don't have no instrumental aptitude.
I see. So I was actually talking, funny that you bring this up. I was talking about the difference in handicapping styles the other day with one of my friends and how you can kind of relate it to like people that are really good at just hearing a song and then playing it versus people that can read music and kind of just get a feel for things that way.
Right.
And I feel like in a lot of ways, a lot of people view handicapping from one style that's very methodical and mathematical and the form and the numbers, blah, blah. Whereas like I'm a more visual person. I'm watching the replays. I'm looking at the horses, things like that. So I said to my friend, I was like, it's kind of like I can hear a song and I can get the rhythm down really quickly. But if you ask me to read music, it's going to take like 10 times longer than it should. Versus if you ask someone to play a song that they just heard, as opposed to looking at the music on a piece of paper, they'd be like, I don't think so.
Right.
So, yeah, different styles of things.
That is a good parallel to handicapping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what are you for handicapping? Same as for music?
Yeah, I can't read music at all. Like, I can, like, if you play this note, but if you were like, play this song, it's like embarrassingly bad. But if you were like, play this song and you just played it, then I could figure it out.
So much like visual versus using brisnet.
Sure, yeah.
Well, Craig has a big time single in the last.
The 11?
The 11.
Look at those. Take a look.
A friend gave him that bold single.
Tip. Uptown Eagles landed 15-1 morning line. First time. I mean, this was a race where every single horse is trying to turf for the first time.
It's incredible. I can believe it.
It's crazy.
Steve has had several.
He's had a lot
this
of
meet
success
with that turf. Yeah.
Right. And this horse was already, it just has to run the same race. It doesn't even have to get better. So that's kind of why.
A bold single for sure. Nah, but those are.
Bold. I mean, any horse can end up improving with a surface switch. So who knows? And as we're seeing right now, it is raining there. Hazy, light showers.
So watch the turf.
Yeah. Could end up being a good turf course.
Or off.
I don't think they'll take races off the turf at this point. Do you? Unless there's a storm of brewing.
Horse racing, I just never.
Yeah, you never want to.
Whatever option is worse for horse players seems to be the one made most often.
Yeah.
But knowing Sam Houston and its management, as I do, I know they're at least sensitive to those issues. So hopefully they won't rear their head in this situation. But still worth watching because the main track might change, etc.
I want that yellow poncho. That's pretty stylish out there. It kind of matches the blinkers, the bag. I don't even know if he's with that. I
think that's considered a slicker.
A slicker? Like a city slicker?
No, like a poncho is more like the bag, right?
Right. You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just reminds me of the man with the yellow hat from Curious George.
It reminds me of someone who's going to help kids cross the street.
The traffic
Or maybe that's where he came from.
It's a little late for school.
Well, that's where he came from.
Oh, right. I had to just rush over after the other job. And everybody's in red matching the
slicker.
one horse
That's
here
impressive.
too. Like, what is going on? Some matching rain slickers with
Flower
their
house.
horse. This is great. You have the guy in the red, and then you have the girl with the red rain jacket.
Oh,
and then
we're talking about this, and we still have our ticket up.
Nobody cares about your ticket.
I know. They sure don't.
No, this is more important. The matching.
I feel they didn't see the slicker.
No. Well,
maybe they'll pan back.
We'll show that horse. But yeah, the red rain jacket, the red shirt, the red number on the horse. Look at this. I mean,
a lot of red. Your top pick.
Yeah. The matchy is really doing it for me.
And if it's a bad ride, you'll be seeing red.
I don't get that angry. The last time that I was angry about a loss was that pick 4 that I was alive to over $30,000.
I still don't understand why you were angry.
Well, it's not that I was angry. It's kind of like that was the loss that like stung the most recently. Like I've never been alive to that much.
It's quite a thrill.
Yeah, that's great. And then it was terrible.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I mean, I was most nervous about that leg because I picked a horse that, as a single, that had never been on the dirt before. That I was like, it was kind of like one of those sequences where it's like, oh, this is wild and crazy, and all these picks are kind of out there, and this one, I guess, kind of makes some sense along those lines. And I didn't want to use a horse that had already been with the bias and not run a good race with it, so then was going to be with the bias again. And I was like, well, if it wasn't enough to aid you last time, why would I want it for you this time? And then that horse ended up winning. So is what it is.
Trying to see what the pool is in this pick 6.
I'll never get over it. It's fine.
Well, you'll get over it when you win, right?
When I win over $30,000, sure. On a $90-something pick four.
12,000 in the pick six right now.
12,000?
New money.
New money. Okay.
That's quite an opportunity because 16,000 carryover.
Right. Yeah.
Josh wants us to ask Andrew about singling Yoshida. Yoshida.
Like Yoshi? The little green guy?
Yeah.
Yoshida.
Love Yoshi.
Yep.
Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Grew up on it. Well, if Andrew is here, please do tell us about singling. I always thought that horse was kind of like, where's the beef?
What do you mean, like, what's not to like?
No, what is to like?
Oh.
Where's the...
Well, it's kind of like, it reminds me of War of Will. It's like, oh, well.
War of Will won the Preakness, right?
Yeah. But it's that like, oh, good on the dirt, good on the turf. Yoshida was a decent horse.
Yeah.
I bet on him a couple times.
Not me.
No, never. Not once.
Probably with an all.
Probably. Like Pendolino the other day. Not the most recent star, but the one before that with that sequence. And he's like...
He's already run back?
Yes. But yes.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think was third that day.
Wow.
Because Mark, you missed it. Mark played a pick 3 that ended with Pendolino. Because
I thought you were joking, like, oh, you're using a bomb like Pendolino. I didn't realize she was running back.
Yeah. No, like that actually happened.
That's great.
I won either second or third.
Wow, 1-2. This is a fade for me. If anyone else has some words of either encouragement or discouragement about playing this horse at 1-2,
well, there's the slicker, another one, the yellow. Love it out there. Well, I mean, where else are you gonna go in here? I didn't like the 7. I didn't like the 4. You like both of those horses.
I do.
I did not. So then the other option for me was the 2, with the drop in class going from the turf back to the dirt, which this trainer
I
is 10%.
have no issue with the 2.
The figures fit. I mean,
I think we're contractually obligated to refer to it as the deuce.
By who?
Just feel like that's the nomenclature.
Yeah. You can call it whatever you want. Peace.
Well, if Daniel is still watching, he said we'll get him next time.
I mean, this is next time.
And for me, next time is now, because at 3-5, now 1-2, no interest in the 1.
Well, I mean, if this horse wins, it's going to have to run off the screen to be fitting for that price.
Yes, 2, 4, 6, 7 for me for now. But if the 1 drifts up and the 7 starts taking money, then...
So you do this stuff like a lot of other people do. Where it's like, well, if the odds are right, then I like this horse. Well, if the odds aren't right, then I don't like this horse. Do you like this horse or not?
I don't like the 1. I'm not using the 1.
Okay, well, then the odds shouldn't matter if you already don't like the horse.
Well, at 1-2, though,
well,
that's a huge opportunity.
But if you already didn't like the horse, it shouldn't matter if the horse is 9-5, 2-1, 3-5.
Right, but the opportunity gets better the more money it takes.
I agree with you there, but it's like if you do or don't like the horse, the odds shouldn't matter.
Well, it matters in terms of how much I'm going to bet on the race.
Well, that's fair. But as far as like using the horse in a sequence or not, you either like them or you don't.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like.
Yeah. That's fine.
And I do. I mean, I would say the 6 at 14-1 and the 2 at 12-1 are the plays.
The 2 is the play. I didn't like the 6 at all.
No?
No.
How about a little horse for horse?
Why, you want a head-to-head?
Sure. I'll take the 6, you take the 2.
Okay.
Although now they just went to 21-11.
Oh, well, now the odds changed. You don't like the horse. No, you said it. If you want to do it, that's fine. You've already won 2 head-to-heads.
Candy?
Yeah.
I got to go get the candy.
There's a horse named Got the Candy.
Twirling Candy.
Twirling Candy. Great horse. You know that I named a playlist Twirling Candy once? It's
kind
of like an homage to the horse. Yeah. It's not really about the horse, the music, but it was fun. Yeah.
Did you have I Want Candy on the playlist?
Definitely did not.
Oh, it feels like a miss.
It doesn't really feel like a miss to me to
2 to
not
5.
include that song anywhere. What? It's Steve.
2 to 5.
It's Mr. Steve. Go get the candy. Stop doing this to me. I'm gonna go get it if you don't. You're just
I'll wait till the race starts and I'll go get it. I really am surprised this horse is 2 to 5. Did you really think it'd be 2 to 5?
Yeah, because like I said, who else are you gonna like in here? I don't like the 4.
I didn't even have as an A. Like, I'm blown away.
You shocked?
I mean, I would book bets at 1 to 2.
What do you mean?
Like, I would say bet me instead of
like you in a horse suit type of like.
Well, no, but
like
Candace and I both on the 6 at this price.
I think Candace just said that she likes that horse, not at that price. She's not one of those people.
Oh, right. Well, 25 to 1 if you like the horse. That's
great.
Period.
Go for it. If you like the 3 at 40 to 1.
Yeah.
Great. I didn't like the 3, but if you did, sure.
Well, here's his ticket. Let's see. Oh, 7. See, he's against the 1. He knows what's up.
Hey, if you want to take a horse that's claimed off of Carl Broberg at a short price, be my guest. So is this 18,000 all new money? I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's new money.
That's awesome.
Plus 16.
Plus the 16.
Right. So 12% off the 18 and then add 16.
So while I have a pen, what is our group pick 6 ticket?
It is. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1.
Okay.
2.
Okay.
4.
Yeah.
6. 7.
I'm gonna feel not so great if the 3 or the 5 went in here. Next.
With.
Yeah.
5. 6. 7.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Mm-hmm.
With.
Mm-hmm.
2. 3. 6. 7. With 11. With 1, 3, 6, 7.
With the 1.
With the 1.
All right, sweet. That has a good chance to hit. I didn't contribute any money to Twin Spires, but I will send you a Venmo if you give me your handle.
Let me make sure there's shares left.
It's with some of my ideas. What do you mean if there's shares left?
Yeah, but if I take yours I know. Yeah. But we can split my share.
Well, it's not.
You want to send me 5?
That's not fair to you.
What do you mean it's not fair to me?
What, a half a share in the shared?
I mean, it's just for fun.
Oh, okay, sure.
Although if it hits and my share is worth 10,000, I can buy everyone pizza.
I mean, wow.
Although I guess my share can't be worth 10,000. The pizza might be worth more than the
$5,000.
Although I guess if we're splitting it and it's
it'd be 5 and 5, and then I guess we could both split the cost of some pizza.
Right.
All right, so let me just say,
you owe me $5.
I owe Ed $5.
Steve likes
are there shares left? I would buy a whole share.
I can't tell.
Okay.
Just uno momento.
All right, let me see if I can buy a share myself through your Twitter. Then we'll know. Let's see.
It's sold out.
All right. Well, I'll buy into your share for $5.
And thank you for whoever bought a share to sell it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Look at that.
Oh, Josh bought 2 shares.
2. Wow, he's going to have to buy pizza.
Imagine how many he would have bought if I hadn't called him Andrew.
Probably at least 5.
5. Daniel's on the 2 here. He's throwing out the last race.
Yeah, I forget the last race, whatever. All right, so I owe you $5.
I'm doing 2, 4, 6. 7's down to 3 to 2. The 1's a toss.
So now you don't like the 7 because the 7's 3 to 2.
Correct.
But you wouldn't change your mind on the 1 at 7 to 5?
No, the 1 I would probably need like 4 to 1.
Oh, you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
No.
No, I know I don't like
So
it.
let me just make sure I'm keeping track of all of our wagers here. I have my own pick six ticket that I'm not actually playing because I'm saving all my money for Friday. We have the shared pick six ticket. I owe you $5 for that. And then we have our head to head for Candy, the 2 for me over the 6.
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure.
You have the 2.
Head 2.
I have the 6.
2.
Daniel also has the 2 because he's throwing out the last race.
Okay.
And Steve said hello.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for joining.
We're so glad you're here.
We're so glad you're with us in spirit and through the machines.
I'm gonna have to bet.
You're gonna have to bet against the one.
Yeah, this is a bet situation.
It's almost like it's kind of your job to bet or something.
Well, I just feel very strong. I mean, just the horse wins, he wins. That's fine.
The one, yeah. I mean, it'd be great for our bet share if he doesn't. No, and the 2 does. Or literally anyone. Well, the 6 and the 2 are the best long shots, but I want Candy too. So.
You want Candy?
Yeah.
There you go. Just an action play.
Yeah, great.
$15 for glory.
For glory, prestige.
I mean, if it comes 6-2, I'll hit the exacta. I'll win our bet, and we'll be live in the pick 6.
Yeah, or with literally anyone else above the 3 or the 5, you'd still be alive in pick 6.
Yeah, but I mean, that'd be a nice exacta.
Well, I think it would be fun if this ticket hit because it's one that you got everybody involved in. It's a combination of our ideas that we were talking about last week. That wouldn't it be great if we actually did that because we're sitting in the same place and could have done that this whole time? It'd be kind of fun. Get involved, you buy in, you get a share of some money.
What's not to like?
Some money. At least we're all in it together.
That's right. Craig liked the way the one looked on the track. Did you happen to notice anything?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's valuable information to say this 6-5 shot looks incredible and wins the paddock pick, but I would say that that's the case. Yeah.
Well, if
they
looks terrible, incredible and no one else does.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not new information that the 6-5 horse is a good idea.
Mm.
So if this horse instead looked terrible, I would definitely be pointing.
How about this guy's hat?
Oh, it doesn't match the slickers.
That's true.
No,
you very rarely see a cowboy in a slicker.
I mean, imagine if you have the cowboy in the slicker with some slippers. That'd be great. Not too good for the weather, but kind of funny.
I enjoy slippers.
I do too. I have a great pair of slippers.
My favorite part of doing the spa thing is they give you slippers.
The spa thing?
Yeah.
I've never really been to a spa.
Really?
You have, though.
Oh, love it. It's definitely one of my indulgences when I'm in Vegas.
Nice. I think the next...
Vegas, baby.
Hey, the one's not favorite anymore.
Wow. Glad I just did 2, 4, 6.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I think the next personal care thing that's not really excessive, but just kind of the list of things to do. I need a haircut. This is ridiculous. It's way too long. No. I mean, obviously.
Let me know if you need some leads.
For hair?
I mean,
for hair cuttery?
Yeah.
Because you're an expert in that? Are you going to cut it?
No, but I know people who have availed themselves to.
I actually had a friend in Massachusetts that cut my hair. She did a really good job. She also cut her own hair and did a really good job with that, which I think is even more difficult.
Haircut's very much subject to the female tax.
Yeah, for sure. But also at the same time, the hair is longer. It takes you more time. The color.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Well, color fine. That's you're paying more, but
right. Well, if it's a certain style versus yeah. But of course, there's a lot of things that are subject to the female tax, which we could spend hours on endlessly.
Next time.
Yeah, tune in for that show. riveting discussion. Well,
what do you think?
I think that we have a good shot of surviving this leg. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think the 7's winning because Jockey's all in.
Yeah. I think the 1 is just poised to go right on by at the top.
What about the 2 up the rail?
I don't think it has it. We'll see.
Decided against the rail.
I mean, a good decision as the 3 was kind of coming over. Yeah, I think this is all.
I don't think I'm winning my head-to-head either.
No, I don't think so. This horse is cute with the little nose, the white face. Yeah. The 5 second though. So if we didn't have that 1, we would have been screwed.
I'd say it's fair to say I handicapped that as poorly as one could and still advance, thanks to you. I would not have used that horse in the pick 6.
No? Not at all?
I mean, I was wrong.
I mean,
no excuse, but
wrong about plenty of things.
Mm.
But I mean, what value am I really providing by giving you a horse that was either favored or 9 to 5? But at least we move on, so that's what matters.
We do move on, survive and advance,
right?
And in a pick 6 with the carryover, you get.
See, this is what I mean.
You get a $20-$30 winner. You're still okay.
I won my first head-to-head.
Yeah.
Candy.
I need to go get the candy. 52,000 of new money, which let's see,
awesome.
12% of that is 6,400. So say 46,000.
I think it's the funniest thing that the 2 horses that we didn't include finished 2nd and 3rd.
And if you were a believer in Flower House and not the rest, you may have been able to get to that
2 to 1. Though ended
much
up
better.
Not being a bad price.
Ended
to
up,
start things off.
Everyone canceled their tickets when I spoke so negatively.
Yeah, or they were like, well. But that's the thing, like with the 7, I was like, I really don't like this horse. And again, I've been wrong a million times, but I don't really want a horse that's coming from Carl Broberg and Rye Eichelberry to a trainer that's 5%. I just don't, regardless of what happened last time.
It wasn't good.
Oh.
I mean, for a horse, as Josh noted, to take that kind of money and just really have no response when the real running started.
However, I will say that no one really had any response except for the 1. The 3.
And the 3 hung around.
Yeah, I mean, but
I'm going to go get that candy.
Please do. I mean, slow fractions and then just kind of stayed there. So this is what
are you going to talk about while I'm gone?
I mean, who knows? Probably you and your lack of hair and the hair advice that you want to provide for me. So you have some hair. Yeah, you're not totally bald. Yeah, with 3 setting fractions that are that slow, like a quarter and almost 25 to the half and 49 and kind of just sticking around. But this is what you get from $10,000 claimers. They kind of just stay in one spot. This horse, to me, made a lot of sense. Maybe not to Ed, but I think 2 to 1 is a fairly generous price at the end instead of 9 to 5 on a horse that looked, at least to me, like the horse to beat in here. But again, you liked a lot of horses. Do you not even have any candy? Do you just make that?
I don't have any candy.
It's the worst Christmas ever.
I have no candy.
Well, I'm gonna get some a little bit from the break room.
Oh, Jolly Rancher.
We'll see.
All right, 640. Wow, almost.
That's not bad.
Really higher than 2 to 1 at that point.
Yeah.
Wow, 16 to 5. No, 12 to 5.
What math are you doing?
Better than 2 to 1. All right. Well, we are live, so that's a positive.
Yeah.
Hopefully the other prices will come later. The pick 5 starts here, which, as I noted on the ticket I played, basically followed my pick 6 path.
Pick 6 path.
But whereas we agreed on a top pick in leg 4, you singled the 11. That was my top pick. I did go 5 deep in there.
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, you'd be out.
Yeah, I'd be out.
So I'm glad that I can give you $5 to buy into my ideas.
$5, and Matt's in.
Matt,
our coworker.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Really?
He got in.
The one that doesn't gamble?
He loves to gamble.
Matt? Oh, he doesn't really love the handicap.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. He wants the action.
Yeah. I mean, don't we all?
Yes.
Yeah.
5 here is a single, and unfortunately I'm out of the pick 4 because I did not want to use that horse at a shortish price. Well, so squandered.
At least you're in for the big bucks with the pick 6, and
I squandered a single of a 3 to 2.
Well, I was going to say, for your sake, I hope that the 5 ends up winning here, so then you can at least be like, hey, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't still be alive. So.
Yeah.
At least we can both say
I
it.
can only hope you hold it over my head for weeks to come.
What? Well, no,
That-
I'm saying that then this happens for you, so that neither of us can say that. So I'm saying,
okay.
because I didn't have the 5 at all anywhere.
Oh, right.
So if
or the 3.
No.
Yeah.
So if the 5 or the 3 wins in the next 2, then at least we can both say, well, we needed each other, teamwork, all that good stuff. So, which is true regardless, but specifically for this ticket remains to be seen.
Well, the 11 taking the early money here.
Austin Gustafson, some live connection.
Maybe he said he couldn't. Maybe he said he
why.
couldn't win.
Yeah, right. I made a note here that I don't know what I meant by that. So who knows? But hey.
Well, I like the 5. We'll see what price we actually get. Waiting on the will pays.
That 9 is taking some money, like I thought would happen, from 12-1 down to 5-1. So I'm wondering why Rye isn't riding for Austin. Maybe a prior commitment to Carl. Who knows? A lot of people say not to read a lot into the whole like musical jockeys type of situation. What do you feel about that?
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and my agreement is twofold.
Peace.
One, I think for the most part, they're world-class athletes. Other than the fringes, I don't think there's that much of a difference anyway. Like, to me, a 18% rider and a 10%.
Well, I think what
A lot
I would
of times
argue,
a function of the barns they're riding for, not talent.
right. What I would argue as far as like a difference is certain styles for certain horses versus the argument of like, well, this trainer and that connection, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
I think that you have a certain style as a rider and that can fit certain horses better. Like I've never ridden in a race. Obviously, it's been a long time since I've actually ridden a horse, but I took lessons for a while and I was on one of those college teams as well. And so it's like you have a certain style as a rider. You're better with certain horses. There were always horses I got along with better than others because of a certain style, but a great rider can sit on whoever and make it happen.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, and then number 2, just in terms of relationships with trainers, there's just a lot there that you don't know. And like you said, maybe it's a commitment thing or they want to ride some other horse tomorrow. So they agreed to do this today. Mm-hmm. And I just try not to read into it because while, it's the agent's job to get their jockeys on the best horses, there's also, just the long-term
relationships,
planning and relationships. Right. And, it's just hard to read too much into a lot of that.
Right. And I noticed that you pulled up, what do we think about the 6?
Yes.
I do actually have some thoughts on this horse. This horse is my second choice. Seductive USA. Not taking
and is on
money.
Our ticket.
Yes, not taking any money whatsoever. 22-1 right now. This horse is first time with a trainer, and this trainer is 19% first time off a claim. This horse is coming off a 180-day plus layoff, which is a move that this trainer is 1 for 5 with. So not happening too often, but having some success when doing so. And from 9-2 on the morning line down now to 22-1. This horse is absolutely dead on the board. But I did give this horse a look. I was kind of looking for a price in here, and I thought that was going to be the number 9, but this horse taking money, so
it's still 5-1.
When in doubt, as Boots would say.
When in doubt,
9, 6, 6, 9. That's it for me.
And both are on our tickets. I have the 5, who's 7-1. I would expect that to come down, and then
we also added the 7.
The 7.
I like this horse too. Dropping in class, second off a layoff, just made some sense as well as a short price. Had some really positive fire speed figures as well. So
those are positives.
Yeah, I think we'll get through. I think the question is fetching, and then once we're through with that, I think we're home. If she shows up, great. A little scared of the 3, of course, but had to make a choice with one of them. I didn't want to put both of them on a ticket, so
Sophie's choice.
Not quite that difficult.
Well, looking at the double and pick 3 will pays, the 5 will definitely be favored. So for whatever reason, some associated with the 11 looking to get their money down earlier, that'll definitely float up. 5 will be favored. Mm-hmm. Who was my single on the Nick Tamaro challenge ticket, but threw on your horses as well, so we could single the 11.
Are you playing
elsewhere.
that pick 5? I know that we wanted to talk about a little bit.
I'm playing it.
And are you using the same sort of ticket that you made for your own pick 6? Or are you making any changes to that?
So my like caveman main play is 5, 6, 7, 9 here.
Okay.
So same as the pick 6. With
Are you just making this up now?
No, but I think I'm missing a horse. Is one of those like, oh, I better check. Oh, okay, the 8 scratch. That's why.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of singling the 8 and then the first scratch.
And I like the 8. That's why I was like, okay, wait, what? Why wouldn't I have this horse? Sorry about that. Okay, let's start over. 5, 6, 7, 9 here.
Yep, just like the pick 6.
Yes.
Then
2, 3, 6, 7.
just like the pick 6 again.
2, 5, 7, 8, 11.
Then things are getting different.
Right.
2,
1, 3, 6, 7.
Hold on. 2, 5, 7, 8, 11.
2, 5, 7, 8, 11.
Okay, then what?
1, 3, 6, 7.
And then 1.
1. It's $160. And then I have another ticket where I single the 5 here and R11 in the third leg. And basically just that way, if they win and it chalks out, I can hit it multiple times.
So is the rest of the ticket the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No other differences besides that.
I see.
And kudos to Candace, because when I was looking at my ticket, I was like, oh, where'd the 8 go? But she knew to take it out because
the horse wasn't in there.
Right.
Smart. Thanks, Candace.
That's
very helpful.
That is.
She's here for you.
I need to monitor my words. I have worked at other places where that would not have been thought of.
Where it would go unnoticed.
Yes. Not to be confused with Again I Go Unnoticed by Dashboard Confessional.
Oh boy. Well, I was having this conversation with Ron yesterday, and kind of like he was asking, like, how did you like get started in racing, and how did you end up like being noticed on like Twitter? And so I was explaining to him, like, because we were then Matt and I were talking about how it's like so many people of our generation, you kind of have to just take that self-initiative and do something for yourself. And actually, like, if you want something to happen for you, you just have to go make it happen. And it's not really like something you can do as much as, other people like, oh, just work hard. It's like, it doesn't work anymore. So I kind of made the connection of like when I worked in the restaurant, you could train whoever, they could learn the whole menu, they could learn the whole wine list, they could have all these steps of service memorized. If you see the glass of water empty at your table and you don't know to go fill it, I can't help you. I just can't. Like, that's the kind of mindset that like you need to take notice of things and then realize, oh, there's an action that I should then do to complete this task, because that's just the thing that's common sense. And a lot of people just don't have that.
Right. So, people like to stay hydrated.
They do.
And that was a buddy of mine. His like whole tip structure was based on if he was refilled.
Really?
He was like 30%. Like, to him, that was so important.
So this just confirms something that I've said for so long, that like, yes, this does matter, and taking initiative, like no one should have to ask me to fill their water.
Right.
You should just see it and do it.
But if the really nice place is someone's totally dedicated to water.
Just one person?
Well, maybe it's multiple people over the whole.
Filling water?
Yeah.
Well, I guess at some places that's kind of like more of like a busser task versus a server. But anywhere that I worked, you are in charge of filling your own section's water, and that's that. So
Olive Garden?
I mean, yeah. But I've worked at other places that are nicer than that.
Yeah. When you're there, you're family.
Unlimited bread and soup and salad.
What was the thing you could?
What?
You couldn't believe I liked the salad better than the breadsticks?
No, I couldn't believe that you liked the salad better than the soup, because you're so about the soup.
I'm a soup guy, and I mean, it's fine soup, but
it's fine soup.
That dressing with the peppers, what are those called? Pornicinis?
Pepperoncinis.
What is it?
Pepperoncinis.
Yeah. That.
Do you want to spell it out somewhere, or?
No. What did you spell last week?
Oh God, I was just thinking about that.
It's the same notebook. That's it. Yeah, when horses talk.
That I still can't really say.
Bojack.
I'm gonna find it. BoJack Horseman's a great show. See, I also wrote Wednesday is the next live stream because I didn't know about that.
There's the slicker.
Yeah, that's the outfit. Anthropomorphic.
And you had it right.
Yeah, shocking. If only I was getting paid to spell. All right, so in here we like the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 9. You like the 5. I was the one that liked the 6, the 7, and the 9. Did you really not look at anyone else but the 5?
I single. What do you
That's
mean?
the
Look.
best soup. Thanks. Thanks. It was. Anyway, back to the horses.
I like wedding soup.
Yeah.
The little meatballs.
Yeah, no.
Not to be confused with little footballs from Ace Ventura. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh. Laces out. No, I mean, I just thought should take the race to him fastest. Is he not the fastest on buyer?
No, actually he is. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Preferred others.
I mean, 6 to 1's ridiculous. I will. Mark and I have talked about this, like the way the win pool is so inefficient early, when clearly this horse has taken the most money in all the multi-race pools. Just wish there were a better way.
Don't we all?
Fair enough.
The commercial writes itself.
What's your pick 5 ticket?
I don't have the pick 5 ticket.
Well, if Josh runs his back, it's only 2, 4, 8, 16. It's only $32.
I mean, if I played like out of my pick 6 ticket the rest of the way,
We should show your pick 6 ticket.
you could.
You have a lot to be proud of with that ticket.
What, this one?
Well, it's still alive.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, but I didn't play it, so it doesn't matter. But if somebody else did, you know, I was like, oh, I want to play Sarah's ticket, then thanks.
At Churchill Downs, we called that For the Peeps.
For the Peeps? Cute.
Yeah, because you're a woman of the people.
Yeah, sure.
The proletariat.
Of the Twitter people,
yes.
Anyway.
So 6, 7, what is that?
That's
3, 12. $12 for a pick 5.
Yeah, right up my alley.
Throwing a few alls.
If you see me hitting the all button ever, just send me a message and tell me I shouldn't play the ticket because I don't have a clue.
That's probably the better advice.
Yeah.
I think it's I mean, gambling and lazy, so it checks those boxes. But B, I do think if you single against an odds-on favorite or a horse you expect to pay $20+ and you really think a race is wide open, I think there's an argument to be made that all is fine.
I don't think you should ever hit the all button, but that's just my opinion.
And if you feel that way, that's fine. What I find people do that is worse, I think it's worse, is, okay, wide open race. I like these horses. I want to narrow because I don't want to hit all. And in a field of 8, let's say, they'll use the top 6 choices. To me, that is worse.
Oh, and just leave 2 out? Yeah.
But the 2 out, if you're using 75% of the field, you're already saying it's wide open. You clearly don't love the favorite because you're willing to.
You don't have much of a clue of what's going on here.
And that's fine. I mean, if you want to play the pick.
I mean, there's plenty of times that I don't have a clue, but then I don't play the sequence because I don't have.
Yeah, but maybe you have a strong opinion and there's a carryover, or you just like playing every pick 5 that you handicap, like me. I just feel like you're better off taking the 6.
Is this horse just hanging out by himself? Sorry to interrupt, but this is important.
Isn't that's a lead pony, right?
Yeah, is he just chilling all by himself out there? Where's his mom or dad?
When they chew on the fence, isn't that called something?
Cribber? Cribbing is when they do something very specific and they inhale air by biting and sucking in. It actually, there's a bunch of studies that have been done. It's supposed to make them get kind of high, like if you inhale paint or something, helium, but it's not really like that. But that's kind of the thought behind why they keep doing it. Some people also think it's kind of like horse nip. No, it's kind of like you suck in air and then I don't know. I don't believe that that's necessarily true, but a lot of people think that that's why they do it, and then some other people are like, oh, like it's like monkey see, like monkey do, and it's like a learned behavior. So if you have one cribber in the barn, you're more likely to have more cribber. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like some horses do stuff like that. They have a bunch of like silly behaviors. That's nice.
Yeah.
I wish I was in Vegas too.
Jared's in Vegas. I always wonder what casino.
Which one in particular?
Yeah.
Well, maybe
have you been?
No, I haven't been. One day.
I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to there, of anywhere.
It's true. Jared needs a play.
Well, we have our pick 6 still alive. So then we're coming back with some pick 5s. You have a pretty similar ticket to the pick 6, except for which race? No, you have the same ticket. Oh no, you aren't singling fetching in one of them. That's what's up.
Yeah. You didn't give him a play.
Well, we already talked. Fine. So if I was going to play the pick 5 in here, I would just use the 6, the 7, and the 9 in this race. In the next race, it would be a 3, 6, 7, and the 2. Single the 11 in race 7, then by 2 in race 8 with the 6 and the 7, and then singling the 1 in the last.
All right. Well, Jared's at Bellagio. They do not have Sam Houston, which is a travesty. I would suggest going to a casino that does Jared, and probably won't get there in time for race 5.
There'll be a pick 4 though.
But there is a pick 4 coming up, and I think number 11 in race 7 will probably be worth a win bet.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be favored.
That's your play, Jared. Number 11, race 7, yo 11, win some money, then go to the craps table, put it on the pass line, roll a yo, and you're set for the rest of your trip.
Buy some pizza and send it to headquarters at HR Nation when you hit for over $10,000.
That's the rule.
The pizza money amount.
$10K.
Help us out.
Pizza was good last week.
Yeah, it was great. And then I had it for lunch the next day. And then I even went out and I did some shopping over the weekend. And by shopping, I mean I went to Walmart for 5 minutes and I found a pizza that had pretty much the same stuff on it. I was like, that was so good. I'm going to get another one.
The pepperoni mushroom or the sausage olive pepper?
So this one actually had pepperoni and then also the peppers and the olive. So it was kind of like
mix of the two.
Yeah. For $4, frozen pizza.
The Walmart next to the Target?
That's the one, which, like, who did that? Terrible.
It's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
And then there's Kroger.
Yeah, I still haven't been to a Kroger. Can you believe it?
No. Why wouldn't you go to Kroger?
Because I'm poor.
Yeah, but I mean, they have deals.
Well, no, I know. But I haven't had to do a ton of grocery shopping. And then when I do have to go, it's usually just for like 2 seconds. I'm like, let me go to a store that I at least know what's there.
What about Liquor Barn? Have you been there yet?
No, not yet. I had some wine with me that I brought from Massachusetts. I've now finished, so maybe soon.
Liquor Barn's fun.
Yeah.
Huge selection.
I mean, you have like a side business going with all your bourbons.
Well, more a hustle.
Yes. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
We've discussed this.
More of a hustle.
We're almost done. This time goes by.
Oh, what about Aldi?
I'm not an Aldi's fan.
Really? Because of the Trader Joe connection?
No, it has nothing to do with that. The Aldi's that was available in Worcester was kind of just like not well maintained.
Oh, man. Like, here in Louisville, they're the nuts. Yeah, mint.
That's right.
Mint.
Mint condish.
Yes.
That's from School Rock, which is a great movie.
I have seen it, and I love Jack Black, but I've only seen it once, and it's been years. So
you've only seen School of Rock once?
Yeah.
That is a fabulous movie.
Big time Jack Black fan, though.
I wouldn't have guessed that, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like you'd be the kind of person to be like, oh, he's just not that funny.
Oh, he's hilarious.
All right. I'm glad you think so.
Tenacious D, cover to cover.
Wasn't Tenacious D a horse name, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. No, I saw Tenacious D. They did a concert with Jimmy Eat World and Weezer.
Weezer's great.
And Weezer was terrible.
Wow, sorry.
Live.
Well, I can believe that, honestly.
But Tenacious D and Jimmy Eat World killed.
Were you in the middle?
I was not in the middle, but it was good. Value Market, I have not heard of, but Candace is touting it, so it must be local.
Probably. I do. Matt goes to Trader Joe's as I point to where he sits, but he's not there. He does.
He
go.
lives in that general direction
Yeah,
too,
he's over
though.
there in spirit all the time. Yeah, Trader Joe's is great. I just didn't go that much. Oh, well, there you go.
He's a mole. He's been a
Infiltration.
part of this live video for weeks, just waiting
just
to
make
work
sure that
in
you
and
mess up his name
Aldi.
again.
Yeah, Aldi here is legit.
Okay, we'll get to know. I'll check it out.
Although
Catch 22.
their Alfredo sauce is one of the worst things I've ever had in my life.
I mean, I wouldn't.
And it's ruined me on Alfredo since.
I'm not really an Alfredo fan after working at Olive Garden, so.
Was that part of the tour of Italy?
Yeah, actually it was.
Is it lasagna?
It's the lasagna,
Alfredo.
fettuccine Alfredo, and isn't it chicken parm too? I haven't worked there in like 8 years, so.
Well, a wise woman once told me it's not about knowing the menu, but making sure your glass is full of water.
It's about taking initiative.
Yes, that's true anywhere.
Yeah.
So the 7-7-2, that's going to be an El Tasso for me.
An El Tasso and El Paso?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 5's right now at 3-1, but you know that's frustrating because there's a minute to post. 3-1, you're like, oh, maybe I'll get 2-1. But looking at those double will pays, this horse is going to be 6-5.
Really quick, totally off topic. I think we need to at least mention the fact that a horse named I'm an 8 is the 8. I don't think this horse has a shot to win, but I just thought that was pretty funny.
I'm an 8 is the 8.
Yeah, it's true.
It is true.
That'd be a funny hunch play. I didn't really see
40-1.
Horse. Yeah.
Dollar across.
No.
You're not a hunch player, huh?
No. See, like we've had this conversation. If I don't think it's going to happen, I don't care.
What about manifesting it, though?
Well, I don't think it's going to happen. So that kind of goes against the whole idea of manifesting something. Manifesting something, it's like you already believe it happened and you are living in the feelings of that truth.
Oh.
I don't believe this happened in any infinite possibility.
What's the distance here?
1 mile on the turf, if you couldn't tell.
Real quick.
Do you have turf routes?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Got rhythm. I've got music. I've got turf routes.
You don't have any candy, though.
I would say this is as fair as I could imagine.
Yeah, I would say so.
Completely even post-wise. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, 10, 9, 10. Yeah.
Run style. Okay, mid-pack more than maybe on the lead or a deep closer, but clearly can win from anywhere.
Yeah. No,
So,
I would say out of any of the courses.
That's what you want, right?
Of course, you want things to be fair. Don't we all?
I'm going to have to bet this 5 to win. I'm believing the hype that we're going to get this price.
All right. I don't believe this horse is going to win, but we'll see.
What about the price, though?
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, yeah. He's a suitor.
I think the 9 at 7-1 would still be a good bet, but I liked this horse at 12-1. I'd like this horse at 5-1. It's like green eggs and ham. You like it or you don't.
I like it. I bet the 5 to win. So for those playing along at home, fade me or back me, but I am in the pool.
I mean, it's the way to swim.
That's right. Now what?
I don't know. We watched the race, I guess. Time is almost over. What else do we have to talk about? You have to go watch my Aqueduct Pick 6 video. You have to like and subscribe. Comment if you feel like giving out any opinions of how we did, what we can add, ways to improve, things you hate.
Yeah, tweet at us, stuff. Comments.
We incorporated a lot of the chat tonight. Great Stakes Day, Saturday at Sam Houston, as well as at the fairgrounds. Derby points on the line, Oaks points on the line. What else is there? I
think they're doing something with their pick 5. Sam Houston, yeah, the stakes, that's big for Saturday. And I think you touched on it all. And we're on Wednesdays now that they've changed their schedule.
Yeah.
Although even that is subject to change. I think it would be fun. I mean, not anything super short term to mess things up, but I mean, maybe a weekend day is talk some stakes.
Sure, that could be fun in the future.
But they're off.
I need a guest for next week.
Yeah.
So if anybody would like to be the guest handicapper for Sam Houston,
what about Josh?
Yeah, I mean, shoot me a message. That's what I was going to say.
I mean, he ran back the pick 5 at my suggestion.
Awesome.
He likes whiskey.
Well, I'm not saying anyone's excluded.
His wife
I'm
works
just
at
saying.
Aldi.
I mean, all these great things. If he wants to be a part of it, I'd be happy to chat with him. The options
I
out
mean,
there.
maybe Joe D. Jared.
Just scrolling through the chat and naming names.
Rennie.
Rennie would be fun.
You have to have him make the entrance.
What do you mean?
Oh,
yeah, of
Oh.
course. Almost have to just ship him in and have him do it against the background.
what if you just had like 12 cameras set up and he just opened into each one?
That's all he did. He didn't give out a single selection. He just did the dance. That would be funny. All right, let's see if we're staying alive in this pick 6 or not. There's your 5 horse. You
Need him to kick on here a little bit.
7's coming alive on the outside.
Need a little bit of a burst here.
The 6 is coming on.
Need to dig in.
I think you got it. It's gonna be exciting. You did it. Congratulations.
I did it. Winner.
Did it. See, so now
that's a TikTok song.
What?
Sound, I mean.
Which one?
We did it. Have you seen that?
Dora. No, I haven't watched a lot of TikTok.
Oh, is that Dora?
Yes.
Oh, I had no idea. I just know.
All right, so now we can say the teamwork pays off. We're both staying alive, and so is everyone else that bought into this bet share because we put our heads together. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible. We would both be out.
We'd both be out.
Knuckles. We did it.
Nux. We did it.
That's awesome.
What a way to sign off.
Teamwork.
And if you haven't liked already and can't give us a like for a bullish 8-5 selection, 5-2 in the gate, may I add, then
winners. Hey, I mean, if we hit this sequence, I'm happy. So
I would be happy.
Yeah.
Chalk to start, but
well, I mean, just to say we gave out a winning pick 6 ticket live, that'd be cool.
Well, definitely needs.
I mean, it
needs to pay more than 400.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. When I hit my pick 6, I want it to be at least $1,000. So.
Oh yeah.
But
so neither of our individual tickets are live.
No, not
right.
at all.
But together,
we've got it going on, and we hit with our picks. I think the exact and the try in here too.
And the 6 was a bit of a price, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
6-1 took some money too.
Took money. Wow.
Still,
I was on the wrong page for a second, but yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure.
As always, like, subscribe.
2 down, 4 to go. Like,
Stay
subscribe,
tuned.
do all that.
Thanks for joining. We appreciate you and your time.
Watch our video.
Please do.
Read our stuff.
Yeah.
And join us next week.
Pay attention to us is basically what we're saying.
Unless Rennie's on.
Yeah. Then please just watch that.
And watch that.
Take care.
All right. Josh said he's in for next week.
Sweet. I'll send him a message.
We'll talk to you then.
Bye.